Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down big ideas. Today, let's talk about a feeling I think we've all had, but maybe couldn't quite put our finger on. That weird, bone-deep exhaustion you can get from really shallow conversations.
I mean, it sounds totally backward, right? You'd think a quick 10-minute chat about the weather would be a piece of cake, but somehow it can leave you feeling more wiped out than a super deep 2-hour heart-to-heart. Well, it turns out psychology has a really fascinating reason why some chats just drain our batteries while others actually charge them up.
So first things first, let's give this feeling a name. Psychologists sometimes call it the social hangover. And let's be clear, this has nothing to do with being antisocial or being an introvert. It's that very specific kind of mental and, yeah, even physical exhaustion that hits you after conversations that just skim the surface. You know the ones.
Here's the big insight. The problem isn't the act of socializing itself. Not at all. For a certain kind of mind, the mental effort, the cognitive load of engaging in constant surface-level small talk is just surprisingly high. It's kind of like trying to run your brain on empty calories. You're doing a lot, but you're not getting any real nourishment out of it.
Okay, now here is where it gets really interesting. That feeling of exhaustion, it's actually a signal. It's your brain trying to tell you that it has a very specific need, a kind of cognitive hunger that often goes completely unnoticed in our everyday social lives.
And here's the key concept: cognitive stimulation needs. Some brains, especially the ones that are wired to think really deeply, are literally hungry for depth, for meaning, for new ideas. And for these minds, small talk isn't just a little boring, it is mentally expensive. It costs them real energy.
So, how does this all translate into that drained, tired feeling? Why exactly does a brain that loves to process information find simple, small talk so, exhausting? Well, it all boils down to a fundamental mismatch.
This quote just nails it perfectly. A mind that is built to analyze, to connect dots, to find patterns, is being forced into a conversation that offers none of that. It's kind of like asking a supercomputer to spend all day just running a basic calculator app. It's a massive and frankly frustrating waste of its processing power.
And I mean, when you look at it side by side, the difference is just stark. On one side, you've got the surface level stuff. It's just filler, it's noise. You're reacting without really thinking. That just depletes your mental gas tank. But on the other side, you have a deep conversation. You're pausing, you're analyzing, you're listening to really understand. That stuff, that actually refills your tank. It's energizing.
So what is a high-processing mind actually doing all the time? Well, it's constantly analyzing pretty much everything. It's connecting ideas that seem totally unrelated. It's questioning assumptions we all just take for granted. It's always looking for patterns and living in a world of what-ifs. So when you feed a mind like that empty information, you're basically forcing it to spin its wheels in the mud. And that, my friends, is absolutely exhausting.
Now, this need for real cognitive depth, it's not just about the conversations we have. It actually explains a whole bunch of other behaviors that, honestly, are really often misunderstood by other people. Things that might get you labeled as antisocial or distant, or maybe just a little weird.
Just think about it for a second. Preferring to be alone sometimes? That's not about being lonely. It's about giving your brain the quiet space it needs to process and recharge. Needing more time to recover after a party? That's not a weakness. It's a totally natural response to having your energy drained. And having just a few really close friends? That's not a social failure. It's a sign that you value quality over quantity when it comes to connection.
You know, as psychologists might say, what looks like social avoidance is very often just smart energy conservation. The brain is instinctively choosing an environment where it can stay balanced with the least amount of wasted effort. It's not a rejection of people. It's an intelligent act of self-preservation.
Okay, so with all that in mind, let's totally reframe this whole thing. What if this social exhaustion isn't a flaw? What if it's not a weakness at all? What if it's actually a highly intelligent internal guidance system? A strength?
That feeling of being drained after small talk isn't just random. It's a powerful signal. You should think of it like a compass inside your head. It's constantly pointing you away from the stuff that's cognitively empty and steering you toward what is meaningful, what is substantial, and what is truly engaging for your unique mind.
And listen, if you've ever felt different or weird because of this, you are so not alone. This is an extremely common feeling for people with this type of cognitive profile. Your brain just operates at a different speed, a different depth. You see the whole forest where other people might only see a few trees. You're not broken. You're just rare.
And you know what? Once you truly understand this about yourself, it can be a total game changer. You can finally stop forcing yourself into social situations that you know are just going to leave you feeling depleted. And instead, you can start seeking out the people, the topics, and the conversations that actually fuel your mind. And that leads to way more authentic connections and a whole lot less burnout.
So really, the big takeaway here is this. Your social energy is actually a form of intelligence. It's constantly telling you what your brain needs to thrive. Listening to that signal isn't antisocial. It's a profound act of self-respect. So the question really isn't why you get drained anymore. The real question is, now that you know what your mind is hungry for, how are you going to choose to feed it?